Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chef J Green podcast, the Chef J Green Show. I am your host, Jay Green, man. Today we are here to talk about a little bit of NFL news, maybe a little bit of NBA news, and a whole lot of WNBA news because we are looking like we are going to be heading towards a lockout. I'm going to wait a second just to see if we get some people in here first before I start talking crazy. Plus, I need to pull up my channel so I can see the chat. Getting good questions today. Hopefully we do. If you're watching this and you are not watching it live, make sure that you do leave a like and subscribe. We are trying to go live every morning. I don't know exactly what time it will be, but once I start getting a better schedule and start really getting these shows written out, I'll be able to go live a lot more. I'm very excited though for what we got going on here. I like the layout. Also, anyone watching, man, if you have any suggestions on how I can upgrade my layout, players I could put up top, whatever. If you want to change the font, whatever it really would be, I'm trying to improve everything much as I can. And then, it is pretty solid though. It is pretty solid. I'm excited with what we have going on. But as of right now, it says, headed for a lockout. New WNBA CBA increasingly unlikely by deadline. Let's read this article because that'll break it down the best for us. And it says, over a month after the WNBA and WNBA Players Association left their meeting at the 2025 All-Star Game in late July with a wide negotiation gap for a new collective bargaining agreement, CBA, to be ratified, it has now reportedly become increasingly unlikely that both sides can find common grounds by the October 31st deadline. It's going to be absolutely crazy if they cannot find a deal at all. You have to understand. Now, I'm not a woman. Okay, now I think that is a very important thing to say before I say this statement. But why do you not just take your pay increase that you were offered and just shut up and just wait until you become profitable and then come back and try to re-up? But if you're going to be complaining about the money that you're making or the equity stake that you have in the league, you don't need to try to go above what the NBA is doing, because the NBA is literally the high, the S tier. You cannot go above that. So you're not going to get paid like that. You're not going to have the same amount of equity as NBA players. You already declined an over 200% pay increase. It was almost 300%. That is a lot of money. If, say, the average player is making $36K, or that's the lowest, that's over six figures now. How do you sit there and decline that? Because only thing that I question about the WNBA is, say they go into a lockout. What are we looking forward to? What are they expecting? By the way, leave a like on the video, please. But what are we expecting here? 600%? 700%? Because the highest paid WNBA player right now. Let's see who it is. Highest paid WNBA player. Right now it is Jackie Young, who has about $252,000 annually. Again, if you're not making any money, you're not profitable. You're losing almost $50 million yearly. How are you going to be mad at a almost 300% increase? Because if they go into a lockout, I don't know how this is going to look. Because they're probably going to be saving money. Because you got to think, if they're a losing business, they're losing money. If you go into a lockout, WNBA probably ain't even going to be that mad, But you need to be on the court though. We don't need a lockout, because right now you're having a chance to be able to go up into a higher echelon of sports tier. Because right now the WNBA is a D tier sport. No offense, I love my women in the world, but no one watches the WNBA. Now, I've become more of a viewer over the last year, but if all the women are doing, and this is what fans that aren't really into the WNBA, into it, if all we're seeing is these women complain and just go into a lockout, talking about not getting paid enough. And this is like the main like stigma like around it. Nobody's gonna want to be able to come and watch. Like when we had Caitlin Clark coming in and no one's really talking about the bread. Everything's coming up. Paige Bucher's coming in. Everybody wants to go watch them play. But it kind of just takes away from the viewer's experience too, especially if you're trying to find new audience members. You know? And it's not like these people are making like 10K. You know, it's not they're getting paid like below minimum wage. But I just don't see, like, if I go to my job and we're losing money, it just from a logical business standpoint, like, I don't see how you go from one to another. Like, how can I be losing money as a business and then my employees are asking me for more money? Like, I'm a billionaire owner and I'm shelling out millions of dollars and I'm getting millions of dollars from the NBA, which is like you're getting literally donation money, like a Make-A-Wish Foundation, and you're gonna complain about not having enough money. I don't know. Especially with a lot of the women at the top. Like, why are some of them complaining? Like Caitlin Clark, why are you complaining? You are making like, what's her Nike deal? Because I know she just revealed her new logo. But like, she literally is making like, what? It was like 20 mil over five. What was it? 5 year, $20 million? 8 year, $28 million deal. So, I mean, I do what you want with that. Good for her too, by the way. But it's like, I don't want to see a lockout. Like, I don't want to see the downfall of the WNBA. Like, we were just coming into a better point, and now to see it just fall off completely would just kind of like suck. But, you know, let's get away from WNBA talk for a minute. We can come back to that. Let's get into a little bit of NFL talk. I don't know exactly where y'all want to start off at today, man. We got 9 people in the chat right now. Someone let me know what team we want to talk about first. Yesterday we covered a lot of the AFC North and a lot of the AFC South and the West. So, I mean, we could probably, let's head over to the NFC today. Let's see. First question I'm going to ask y'all today. Who is going to win the NFC East this year? You got the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders, and the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go ahead and rank that while we're sitting here, because to be real, I really do want the Commanders to be able to win the division this year. But it's gonna have to be Philly, Washington. No way New York could be better than Dallas this year, right? I mean, I am one of the biggest Dallas haters. You know, I'm not a Dallas fan. But, like, the Commanders are really close to being first, too. Like, let's go look at their depth chart real quick. The Washington Commanders depth chart, because they also just signed Terry McLaurin. You know what the Cowboys haven't done? Signed Micah Parsons, which still doesn't make any sense to me. How the deal is still on the table, and we still haven't got anything signed. But we have Jaden Daniels, Austin Eckler, and then you got Ja'Cory Merritt. That's going to have to be a rookie, right? Yeah, 2025, 7th round pick, 245th pick. Don't know anything about him. Hopefully he'll be all right, though. I don't know. But you got Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel last year, honestly, super mid, but I feel like with him being able to be healthy and also into a new system, it's not like he's really fat. Like, I don't know why people think he's like out of shape, but I just think he's just been a little unlucky too. I hope to be able to see him have a good year this year though, because he has been just going through it. Because we look at last year, 600 yards, only played 50. I mean, he played 15 games, but only 81 targets, 51 receptions. Last year, 60 receptions. Year before that, only 56. He hasn't broken 1,000 yards since 2021, which that's crazy. He had 1,400 yards in 2021 with 18 yards per reception. Like, that's a breakout year. That's a crazy standout year. But yeah, I just think that there is going to be a lot more opportunity there, especially Luke McCaffrey also is very, very, very nice. Like, Luke McCaffrey, I think, is going to be able to take another jump this year because he has some solid-ass hands on him. Plus, brother of Christian McCaffrey. So you're bound to be good at something, right? And then you got Zach Ertz, you got John Bates, And then you got a great offensive line led by Larry Tunsil. And then your defense also, I'm not too big of a defensive guy, but I know you got Von Miller up on the team now. And Bobby Wagner. You got some great vets. I know you got some young corners. You still got Marshawn Lattimore on this team too. Another veteran presence. Now, let's go look at Philly. Because it's going to be, let's go look at Philly. Because this could be closer than I think. But with Saquon Barkley being on that team, bro, with that offensive line, it's hard to even, because I think Terry McLaurin could be better than A.J. Brown this year. I don't think that's, the craziest talk, or at least he could outdo him production-wise. But you got Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and then you got Will Shipley as your second running back, not bad. And then you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Jahan Dotson, Dallas Goedert. I mean, you have some weapons on this team. You still got Lane Johnson on the O-line. The offensive line is obviously top 3, top 4 in the NFL. And then your defense, you got Jalen Carter still coming in. Cooper DeJean, amazing. Reed Blankenship. I mean, you got so many talented players. And you're able to re-up. So, a big thing I thought was they weren't going to be able to get this good again when, Kelsey retired and all that. But they are able to reload pretty well. Because from 2022 to now, the roster has changed so much, but they're still a very, very elite team. You got to give a big shout out to, who's their GM's name? Howie. It's not Howie Stewart. Howie Roseman. Correct. So, but yeah, man, I think Philly's probably still going to be able to win this division this year. With the Commanders coming in at a wild card spot. But, I mean, I don't think that's even bad for them. Because I think they can win anywhere. If anyone didn't need home field advantage, I feel like it's the Commanders. Especially with them being the Commanders. It's not like they really have much of a, I don't know, when you hear that name, home field advantage at the Commanders Stadium, it doesn't sounds like D-tier home field advantage, But next up, let's go to the NFC South. Who's winning the NFC South this year? Because this is one where it's actually a lot closer of a race besides the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are obviously not going to be a good football team this year. But if we do look, there are a lot of interesting teams. Because right now we have the Atlanta Falcons. Who's favored to win? The Falcons or the Bucks? Let's go look because, let's see, NFC South. NFC South NFL odds. So right now the Bucks are favored to win plus 100, and then you got the Atlanta Falcons at plus 210 and the Carolina Panthers at plus 410. So that's not out of the realm of possibility for the Panthers to be able to win. Let's go look at the Panthers roster, because I'm not saying that it's likely. I'm not even saying that there's a 5% chance, but based on the odds, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. So we go look at the depth chart over here. We got a good old Bryce Young coming in. And at the end of his season last year, if we go look at some of the stats for his last few games, game log, we have just 2020. I need 2025 regular season. Oh, no, it would be 2024. Pardon me. He threw for 2,400 yards last year, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and he only played, how many games did he end up playing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. 2 of those games under 5 throws total. I mean, I like what he's going to be able to do, bro, because 215 yards, 3 touchdowns in his last game of the season, in a 44-38 OT win. You have a loss to Tampa, but you have 2 touchdowns for 203 yards, no picks, good QBR rating. I mean, so you got an overtime win versus the Cardinals. You threw for 158, 2 touchdowns. I mean, you also rushed for 68 yards that game and a rushing touchdown with a 34-yard rush. So, I mean, those last 3 weeks, you go play against Dallas. You had 2 picks against Dallas, but you had a touchdown. rushed for 12 yards, had a rushing touchdown. So you're clearly seeing improvement. Like the Panthers game, for example, that pick was really unfortunate. I remember that interception he threw. But you had a rushing touchdown, 3 rushes for 17 yards, 100 and what? He threw for 191 yards with a 55 completion percentage, which is not good at all, I will say. But playing against that Philly team, being able to keep it close like that, and their defense being able to keep some of these games somewhat close. Now, not a lot of them, but being able to have a few wins last year was a big deal in my opinion, because they did only get 4 wins with Bryce Young at QB, but 2 of those wins coming within the last 3 weeks. I'm very excited for what Bryce Young is going to be able to do this year, because I think with the development and finally having some better weapons around him, even though they did just trade Adam Thielen back to the Vikings, which is actually something we can talk about in a second, because I think that is honestly such a big move for this team, even though Adam Thielen, of course, is old as dirt. With him being able to come in for J.J. McCarthy, and because Jordan Addison is going to be out for a bit, and then who else is going to be out on that team? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. We'll have to go look at the roster in a second. But Chuba Hubbard also last year was not terrible. And then we have Rico. He played for the Who did he play for? Is he a rookie? He's in it. No, he's in his 6th season. Who did he play for, bro? Dowdle. Is that how you say his name? Rico Dowdle? Stats. Yeah, he did play for the Cowboys. Okay. Never has done anything. He had 200 rushing yards last year. Or 200. Oh, no. Shit. He had 300 receiving yards last year. He had 1,000. What? He had 1,000 rushing yards last year? I feel like I would have. Pardon my dog's barking. But I feel like I would have gotten that. Or remembered something. What a forgettable year. So shit, how much money is he making? If you have 1,000-yard running back as your backup with 250 carries, I mean, that's 4 yards a carry. Shit, that's not too shabby. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying this. Chuba Hubbard, what did he even do last year? Chuba Hubbard's not even a real person, bro. I watched him in real life, and that shit, bro, he was mid. 250 carries, 1,200 yards, 4.8 yards a carry. Bro, he had to have popped off at the end of the year then. Because I watched him at the beginning of the year. The Saints, 14 yards. The Chargers, 64 yards. The Commanders, 50 yards. The Broncos, 50 yards. But he had some good games in here. 157 versus the Cardinals, week 17. Scored, how many touchdowns did he get? Any touchdowns? He had 1 receiving touchdown on the year and 10 rushing touchdowns on the year. Yeah. So 2 rushing touchdowns against the Cardinals. 152, 92 against the Eagles. Okay. You know, I'm not even mad at that. So you got 2,000-yard backs right now. And then a quarterback who can throw it to the running back too, because he had 300 yards. Rico had 300. And then Chuba Hubbard literally didn't catch a ball. But then you also have Trevor Etienne. Whoa, you got Trevor Etienne on this team too. Came from Bama, right? Yeah, just got picked up this year. Hey, I really like that. And then you got Jonathan Brooks too. Jonathan Brooks was a 2nd-round pick last year. What was he able to do last year? 2024 regular season, 9 carries, 22 yards. Okay, he did not play too much. But right now he's on the PUP list, so I'm pretty sure he's out, hurt. So, but you got 4 decent running backs. Like, because Jonathan Brooks, you cannot judge what he did last year. He was hurt. Literally going into year 2. Not much that he's been able to show. So hopefully he's able to come out sometime. I don't know exactly what their injuries are. I'm not about to go look at the roster injury report. But let's see. Anybody in chat saying anything? No, sir. And then let me add Q&A to this real quick, because I want to get some people, if anyone joins, ask some questions. Because when people ask questions, that's when we get the best content. Hey, 3 likes on the stream, by the way, chat, man. I do appreciate it. Let's see. Q&A. What the hell? All right, that's good looking. So back to the roster. I really like what they got at running back, bro. Trevor Etienne is your third string, and then I really like Trevor Etienne's gonna be nice, bro. I watched him in college. He's really gonna be nice. Gotta be. And then you got Leggett, you got McMillan, you got Jalen Coker. Cokehead could be good in his second year. I really cannot judge most of these guys off of anything because he had 400 yards last year. I really do like Leggett a lot. You know who I'm glad is gone, and I think he's out the league now. Is it Jonathan Mingo, bro? Jonathan Mingo on the Cowboys. I hate Jonathan Mingo. Jonathan Mingo sold one of my largest parlays back in the day when I first started. Hate that guy. Literally has like the hands of I don't even know, statue. It says, will the Chiefs make the Super Bowl again? You personally don't think they will. Me personally, I hope they don't, because if we go look at the NFL, bro, if we just look, I would rather see, you got the Bills. I'd rather see them make the Super Bowl. The Ravens, that's kind of tough because that's in our division. I cannot say I want to see the Ravens make the Super Bowl at all, cause that just can't happen. But I'd rather see them make it than the Chiefs. I'd rather see the Bengals. Hell nah. I hate the Bengals. I'd rather see the Chiefs make it than the Bengals. But I'd rather see the Texans, the Broncos. But just don't let it be the Chiefs again, bro. Because the Bengals defense, they just signed Trey Hendrickson. They did bring him back. That's like a big threat to the Chiefs. But if they can't make the playoffs, how are you going to be able to expect them to be able to come in and do anything? There's nothing that you can expect out of this team. My expectations for the Bengals defense is 20th at peak, maybe 15th, But Trey Hendrickson had a 17-sack season last year, and they were the worst defense basically in the NFL. So you bring back your big guy, but you literally don't have shit else on your roster. It's complete shit. So, no offense, to all my Bengals fans out there, but the Chiefs team's nice, bro. The Chiefs team's nice. They're the second or first best team in the AFC. The Bills are talking to them. The Ravens might be better, but I cannot put the Chiefs as third best team. You got Patrick Mahomes coming back with a fully healthy offensive line right now. A better, improved offensive line right now. Travis Kelce coming off of engagement and a down season last year. And he did lose to the Eagles. I'm not saying he's getting older, so maybe that motivation isn't running super high. You just married a fucking billionaire. So, maybe if I just married a billionaire, maybe my motivation isn't through the roof. But Noah Gray is your backup tight end, who is also a very solid, probably top 3 backup tight end in the NFL, in my opinion. And then Xavier Worthy runs like a fucking 4.2. Hollywood Brown, questionable right now, older, came from the Cardinals, good, not veteran receiver. But then you got Juju too. And then Rashid Rice just got suspended yesterday for 6 games. So he is suspended for the first 6 weeks. But honestly, that benefits them. You said the Bengals defense is 50-50, but the offense is great, but they got to trade T. Higgins. I agree with you because if you can get another T. Higgins. Let me not say that very confidently because T. Higgins is, I watched T. Higgins last year, and T. Higgins was a goddamn dog. He was absolutely killing last year. He did not drop a single pass. Every time I watched him come on the field, that brother, anytime you needed a bet, bro, bet on him to catch the ball. He's snagging that motherfucker at least once. But you have no defensive depth. Let's get away from the Chiefs for a second. We're going to come back because we got to look at their defense. So the Chiefs team, it's looking more scary than I'd like to give them credit, I think, unfortunately, because Chiefs, it's that devil magic, man. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say to that. But now we go look at the Bengals. And let's see, where did the Bengals defense 2024? 2024. The Bengals were 25th in points allowed, 26th in yards allowed. And what moves had they made? The Bengals, they re-sign. I don't see nothing about signing anybody notable. Nobody really knew. What am I supposed to do with that, bro? Like, something. Bro, if you could do Higgins for like, I don't know, because who did they draft this year anyway? Because the Bengals did draft that D tackle, right? But they didn't even want to pay him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Where is his name? He is a D tackle, right? I don't even know who bro. What was bro's name? I'm sorry I cannot remember this. This was a pretty big story. I did talk about this a good bit. I should remember his name. Whatever. It does not matter right now. But Trey Hendrickson, I don't think Logan Wilson is terrible. But, it's not like he's good. Going into year 6, you get... Taylor Britt was supposed to be good, but Britt, was he even any good last year? I don't think he was anything special at all. Last year's stats: 19 assists, 58 tackles, 17 games played, 3 interceptions. Probably is what led the team right there. I doubt anyone else had more than 3. So, and plus, are you paying T. Higgins right now? You're not paying him, right? Is he franchise tagged because, let's see, because you're paying Chase, you're paying Burrow, and you're paying Hendrickson. Now you're paying T. Higgins. Right? He's making a little bit of a bag, ain't he? Higgins. They don't want to show the bag. Let me see the bag. I'm trying to see how much bread he's making. Where is it at? T. Higgins contract. I just have to look it up because ESPN stinks. Yeah, he has a 4-year, $115 million contract extension through March 2025. In March 2025, pardon me, which includes a $30 million guaranteed money signing with a full amount of guaranteed money reaching $40.9 million. Damn. Bro, please, Higgins, if you were trading Higgins for Parsons, bro, call up Jerry, be like, Jerry Jones, I got a 4th round pick, and I want Michael Parsons. Guess what, Jerry? I'll give you T. Higgins. Think about that, Jerry. Dak Prescott, George Pickens, pardon me, CD Lamb, T. Higgins. Bro, Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott's a top 5 quarterback. Jerry, if you did this, you don't even need defense. Look at us. We were the best offense in the world last year. Dak Prescott can be better than Joe Burrow. Boom! Hung up the phone. Boom! I just got Micah Parsons on the team for T. Higgins. What? That's what I'm doing. Fuck Jerry Jones. If we could finesse his old ass all day, I would love to, bro. If I could single-handedly finesse Jerry Jones, I wish I could. Because Jerry Jones don't know football from a damn rock. So, but moving on, we could take a quick peek. Now, honestly, I don't even want to look at this division yet because this is probably going to be the hardest division we rank. But it's going to be the NFC North. Let's go ahead and look at NFC North. We didn't even finish the Panthers. How did we start talking about T. Higgins again? I don't even know. We're a little all over the place right now. Jesus Christ. Back to the Chiefs, though. With the Chiefs having Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, healthy offensive line, and what I was saying earlier about Rashee Rice being suspended, that's going to be good for players like Juju, Nico Remigio. I don't know how to say his last name, man. I'm sorry. And then Jalen Royals, who's questionable right now. But, like, that'll be good for the backups, you know? You need that. And plus, that'll probably give you another excuse to go sign another guy who they'll probably bring in and will be really good. I don't know who. Watch him bring in Jonathan Mingo or something in, like, week 9 and him, like, catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. But then George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, Mike Dana, Nick Bowen, Trey McDuffie, Brian Cook, Jalen Watson. I mean, you got depth on the defensive side, too. You do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players on IR. 1, 2, 3, 4 players questionable. So, but also your special teams. Matt Ariza, bro, I don't even know how I feel about bro for real. But he was literally like the best punter of all time coming out of college. And then being able to come in with Harrison Buckner, who also lit guy. Shout out to Harrison Buckner, but he shoots like 95% from the field. So, and you got the Devil Magic, and you got Andy Reid. So, it's going to be hard to pick against these dudes, bro. Because look at their schedule, too. Look at their schedule, bro. You got Los Angeles Chargers. Win. Philadelphia Eagles. Bro, that's going to be a really good game. That's going to be a really, 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 really fun game to watch. No way they win that game. So 1-1. The Giants, 2 wins. Baltimore, 3 wins. Jacksonville, 4 wins. Detroit, Las Vegas, 5 wins. You know, they kind of got a tough schedule. Because you play the Commanders, Buffalo, Denver twice, the Chargers twice, Houston, and then Philly, Baltimore. If this was going to be a year that they could fall off just a smudge, it could be this year. Hey, leave a like on the stream if you are new. It does help out a lot. This could be a year where they go, say they lose to Philly, say they lose to Baltimore, say they lose to Detroit. Fuck it. They're going to lose to all 3 big teams. Say they lose 1 game to Denver. Say they lose a game to Houston. They ain't going to lose all those games. I could see them losing 6 games, man. I don't know if that means that the Broncos could win the division, because the Broncos schedule... Isn't the Broncos schedule one of the easiest in the NFL right now? Or am I mistaken when I say that, chat? If I'm not mistaken, let's take a peek. We have... Wow. If there was going to be a year, chat, that the Denver Broncos would be able to outperform the Kansas City Chiefs, Tennessee Titans, week 1, Indianapolis Colts, Chargers, Bengals. Bengals might not even be that good, because if their defense is ass, Bo Nix is finna go to work. You could call that 4-0. Eagles, you lose. Jets, win. New York, Dallas, Houston, Vegas. Okay? You got Houston, which might be tough, depending on if they're even healthy. But you could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could be 8-2 going into week 11 against the Chiefs. If you somehow beat the Chiefs and you became 9-2, that's going to be a big-ass game, week 11. And then you hit a bye week, and then you got the Commanders. Loss. Say you lose to the Chiefs. Loss. That's 3. Lost to the Packers, 4. Lost to the Chiefs again, 5. They could only lose 4 to 5 games, man. This could be a time. It would be crazy to see the Chiefs in the wild card, but I think it is very, very, very unlikely. Now, let's go ahead and look at NFC North. We're going to get 2 more divisions out the way here because we have been live for, Oh, we've only been live for 34 minutes. We got time. NFC North odds. Right now, the Detroit Lions are plus 155. The Packers are plus 275. The Vikings above the Bears at plus 375. And the Bears at plus 550. So, damn. Basically, dude, didn't Detroit go like 14-3 last year? Because they went 15-2, bro. Fuck that. Fuck that, bro. They're gonna win the division. It's probably gonna be, I'm gonna say Lions, Packers. Lions, Packers, the Bears. Are the Bears better than the Vikings this year, chat? What are we thinking? Because truth to God, it really could be. Hey, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Oh, it does help out a lot. But I don't know, man. That is really hard because last year, if we go look at the Bears and who they played, how many games were really close? Because they only won 5 games. And the Vikings are coming in with a new quarterback with some injuries at wide receiver coming into the year. And the Bears are all high right now. I mean, they're high as could be. They're feeling great. You lose to the Texans by 6. You only scored 13 points. You lose to the Cardinals 9-29. You lose to the Commanders by 3 off a Hail Mary. You lose to the Packers by 1. You lose to the Lions by 3. You lose to the Vikings by 3. You lose. I mean, shit. You only scored 3 points against the Seahawks. The offense is going to be a lot better this year. No matter what you really want to think. You got blew out 19-3 by the Patriots. Like, these games right here are going to switch. Like, the floor for how many points this team is going to be able to score every game this year is going to be up significantly. Especially with having great offensive and defensive coordinators on your team. It's going to be interesting, bro. It's going to be interesting because let's go look at the roster real quick. I think they'll be better than the Vikings. I think that's safe to say now. Not safe to say, but I think that's a fair bet. Because we go look at their depth chart. You got Caleb Williams, then you have DeAndre Swift, who I think is very nice. And then you have DJ Moore, Romeo Doomsday, and then you have pretty decent receiver depth. You got Cole Kmet, who I really do like Cole Kmet too. Offensive line last year wasn't that good, but Caleb Williams also has to have better decision making and get the ball out of his hands quicker. With having a better offense, that's going to help significantly too. Defense, you got Sweat. I know the defense is getting better. I don't know the defense of the Bears that well. But if we look at the Bears 2024 defense, I didn't mean to put draft picks. Sorry. Defense. They had the longest streak of allowing 21 points or fewer and showing a promising secondary. So, the longest streak of 21 points or less. So, you can clearly see that they're able to, kind of sit in that seat and lock it down when they need to. Shit. This could be pretty good. So, we'll go with the Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings. And then for the NFC South, I'm going to take Bucks. I want the Panthers to win so bad. You know what? I'm going to go on record and say it. Bucks. Can I go on record and even say this, chat? Is this even safe to say? I don't even know. Bucks, Panthers, Falcons. The Bucks aren't going to finish third. So it's either going to be fuck it. Let's go. Bucks, Panthers, Falcons, Saints. That's going to be the order. But no way the Falcons are going to be ass, bro. Like ass. I don't see them finishing third in the division. I feel like that's kind of like, I'm kind of drunk when I say that. Like that's kind of a bold like prediction. But we'll rock with it, sure. NFC West. We'll go through this one quicker. Actually, we'll save that for next episode because Sam Darnold will be in there. Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, Kyle Murray. It's actually kind of a fun division. I'm not going to lie. That's probably that might be the most even division this year besides the NFC North or the AFC North because the AFC North is somehow always really tough. The NFL as a whole, though, is so much more even now that I look at it because you got 3 competitive teams in the NFC East, 4 competitive teams really in the North, no competitive teams really in the South, but they're all competitive with each other. And the NFC West is 4 competitive teams. And then the AFC West, 4 competitive teams. The AFC North, 4 competitive teams. You know what I'm like this is kind of like stacked. Like there's not a lot of ass teams in the NFL, if you know what I'm saying. Like the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, even the Jets with Justin Fields, they're all looking to be able to compete. So, even all the way down to the Colts with Daniel Jones. The Colts, Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward even, as a rookie, coming in, going to look to compete. CJ Stroud, Bo Nix, Patrick Mahomes, Geno Smith now. Like these guys, they're not coming in with an ass quarterback this year. Like you look, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, who's probably going to be Dart by week 5. I'm very hopeful for that. But then again, you got people like, shit, it's going to be a really fun year. But not much NBA talk today. I think that we're going to just save it. My dog keeps barking. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that y'all did enjoy the episode. We will probably be live tomorrow around 10 o'clock. If anyone wants to join, that'll be 10 o'clock Eastern time. But until then, man, I hope y'all did enjoy, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.